CD Projekt Red has released a statement on Twitter apologizing for the state of Cyberpunk 2077 on the PlayStation 4 and the Xbox One. What is up, everybody? Welcome back to another video. Thank you for stopping by. If you're new here and you enjoy what you see throughout this video, hey, maybe consider subscribing to help this channel grow, to help grow this community so we can have some great conversations in the comments below. But for now, let's jump into this. So Cyberpunk 2077 released last week, and since its release, well, since its entire development cycle, it's been pretty rocky with all of the delays. And it is getting worse because the way that the game runs on the base PlayStation 4 and the base Xbox One is pretty unacceptable. And Cyberpunk 2077 has released a statement today addressing these issues. So I'm going to start off here by reading the statement to you. Dear gamers, first of all, we would like to start by apologizing to you for not showing the game on base last gen consoles before it premiered, and in consequence not allowing you to make a more informed decision about your purchase. We would have paid more attention to making it play better on PlayStation 4 and Xbox One. So leading up to the release of Cyberpunk 2077, there was a lot of controversy because nobody had actually seen how the game ran on the base PS4 and the base Xbox One. There were physical versions that had been leaked, had been sent out early, and Cyberpunk and CD Projekt Red had started taking down all videos showing these versions of the game. They framed it as if they were taking them down because they did not want spoilers, but it's pretty clear now that they just really did not want you to see how the game was running on those base consoles, and it was very deceitful, their practices for Cyberpunk 2077 with the base PS4 and the Xbox One. They go on to say here, second, we will fix bugs and crashes and improve the overall experience. The first round of updates has just been released, and the next one is coming within the next 7 days. Expect more as we'll update frequently whenever new improvements are ready. After the holidays, we'll continue working. We'll release 2 large patches starting with patch number 1 in January. This will be followed by patch number 2 in February. Together, these should fix the most prominent problems gamers are facing on last gen consoles. We'll be informing you about the contents of each patch ahead of their release. They won't make the game on last gen look like it's running on a high spec PC or next gen console, but it will be closer to that experience than it is now. So they go on here to be transparent with what they are doing with the upgrades to the game and saying that it should be all fixed by February with that patch number 2 running closer to what it's like on a PC, but obviously it's not going to be comparable to a next gen version of the game or a high-end spec PC version. They end off the statement saying, finally, we would always like everyone who buys our games to be satisfied with their purchase. We'd appreciate it if you give us a chance, but if you're not pleased with the game on your console and don't want to wait for updates, you can opt to refund your copy. For copies purchased digitally, please use the refund system of PSN or Xbox respectively. For box versions, please first try to get a refund at the store where you bought the game. Should this not be possible, please contact us at helpmerefund@cgprojectred.com and we will do our best to help you. Starting from today, you can contact us for a week up until December 21st, 2020. So they ended off there kind of trying to make up for their errors with the base versions of the console, with their marketing deceitfulness, not allowing you to see the game before it was released, because they very well knew how the game was running on the base PS4 and the Xbox One, but still went ahead and released it. And we're just hoping that everything was going to be okay. And that really backfired on CD Projekt Red. And here we are now having to read this apology statement based on the way that they handled things. Now, obviously this leads to a lot of people being upset, and rightfully so, because if you were somebody who went and bought the PS4 or Xbox One version of the game, expecting it to run and not having any idea of the problems going on because CD Projekt Red did not allow anything like that to be put out for reviews or anything before the game was released, you're gonna be pretty pissed off because you've been waiting 8 years for this game since the announcement. And with the continuous delays, it's not going to be ready to play in a state where it's enjoyable for at least another couple of months. With all that being said, yes, I think CD Projekt Red and Cyberpunk really messed up with this. It was deceitful what they did with the Xbox One and the PS4 versions. It was not consumer friendly, but I also think that at least they're giving you a refund. At least they're giving you that chance to get your money back so you're not totally screwed out of your money. I think that's definitely a step in the right direction, and they're really trying to kind of recoup their image so that people don't just completely give up on them after this blunder, because they do make great games. I mean, from what I've heard about the story and what I've heard about the gameplay is that when it works, it's incredible, but there's just so many bugs and it bogs down the entire experience that you really just can't enjoy the game. And that this game probably needed to be delayed maybe for another year for everything to be worked out. Now, going through Twitter, people have a lot of different opinions of what they think about all this. Obviously, people are pissed off, and rightfully so, but a lot of people are thinking that the reason this is happening is because they have to release the game on the PlayStation 4 and the Xbox One, and that it's the hardware that is causing these issues. And that is where I completely disagree. But firstly, this game was announced 8 years ago. They've had plenty of time to work on this game and get it ready for the PS4 and the Xbox One. And they promised it for those consoles when they first announced it, so they have to follow through with that promise. Secondly, if we can look at many examples of games with amazing graphics and big open worlds that were able to run on the base PS4 and the Xbox One, the biggest one I can remember is Red Dead Redemption 2. And from my knowledge, yes, there was resolution that was low on those base consoles, but it was also definitely playable. You were able to enjoy the game, and it was an experience that was adequate for the hardware at that time and for the size of the game. So I think that the issue with Cyberpunk 2077 is with the development cycle, with the development team, and the optimization for these consoles. I definitely think that at some point, once these patches are out, we're going to see just that this game can run on those consoles, and you can definitely get an experience worth playing out of the Xbox One and the PlayStation 4. The problem I find is that the development cycle may need to have been switched around. They probably should have just focused on the PC version or the highest end version of the game first, and then released that, and then delayed the console versions until they were ready to be released. And this would have avoided a lot of deceitful marketing, a lot of people trying to figure out what was going on with the console versions, why reviewers weren't able to get their hands on the game before it came out. But instead, they decided to just ignore all of that, not let anybody see what was going on, and release the game. And one of the biggest reasons I think they did this was because, obviously, first of all, we always forget that video games are a business. Video games, first and foremost, are for the bottom line. They need to be able to recoup the marketing and development costs of the game and then make a profit off of that, or for them it's not worth making that game. And with Cyberpunk 2077, the biggest thing was that they had 8 million pre-orders, and they had made back all of their money right away on the marketing and the development costs of the game. I think that they honestly were just worried about losing out on that if they were to delay it again, or if they were to delay the console version of the game. And now with the game release, they've hit that 8 million. Although they are still going to refund, people are probably going to go out and buy the game again once everything has been fixed, unless you are so disgruntled with CD Projekt Red on this mishap that you want nothing to do with them again. I have a hunch that if you are getting a refund, you're probably going to get it again at some point during the life cycle of this game, and you're going to play through it. So I know this sounds bad. I mean, I could be completely off on this. I don't think CD Projekt Red is this big, maniacal, terrible company who is just completely anti-consumer. What I just think that happened was that they kept delaying it and delaying it. Upper management came in and said, hey, we got to get this game out before the end of 2020. We can't push it back any further, which would have been the right thing to do, even though it would have caused lots of people to be upset and annoyed because of the constant delays. And they just pushed it out, and they wanted to see what was going to happen. And obviously it really backfired. I think what's happening now with the game and with CD Projekt Red is worse than what would have happened if they would have delayed it again, because now everyone is looking at this as CD Projekt Red lied to their consumers, and it was a very anti-consumer move by not showing you how the game was running on the base consoles before putting it out. And I mean, we'll have to wait and see where they go from here. We'll have to wait and see how the perception of the company changes from here. I think obviously they still make great games with great stories, with great gameplay, with the storyline and the writing and all that kind of stuff. And I think that will redeem them once this game is patched and people can fully experience it for what it was supposed to be originally experienced for. And maybe in a year from now, we may all forget about this, especially because now they are also giving the refunds. But it was wrong what they did. They lied to everybody with those base console versions. And now we will have to wait and see what happens in a couple months once everything is fixed. Anyways, guys, that's it for me. I just wanted to give my quick 2 cents on this because it's pretty hot. Everybody is talking about it. Let me know what you think about all this in the comments below. Where are you playing Cyberpunk 2077? Are you playing it on the console? Are you playing it on PC? Let me know what you think about CD Projekt Red. Are you done with them now because of the situation? Do you think they can't be trusted? Or do you think because they're allowing you to get the refund now that they are being transparent about the updates for the game, you're going to forgive them going forward? And are you going to refund your game and wait for the patches to come? Or are you just going to keep it and then not touch it until the patches come? Or are you just going to fight through all the bugs and complete the game because you're loving the story and everything right now? I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments below. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to hit that thumbs up button. If you're new here and you enjoyed what you see throughout this video, hey, maybe consider subscribing to help this channel grow, help grow this community so we can have great conversations. Thank you guys for watching. Thank you for all your support, and I will catch you in the next video.